Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm with the Sports Media Broadcast Group here at Texas State University, and I'm taking a class that's being taught by Mark Meterson this year. And today I've just wrapped up the basketball package program that we've put together for the Texas State men's basketball program. I want to take you through a short shot-by-shot breakdown of the compositions that we ran into on this program because we have an assignment due on the 3 best shots and the 3 worst shots that we took during this. And I've got my notes right here that I'm going to go off and share with you. I want to put the worst stuff out there first so we can get through those and I can explain some things that I've learned just in doing this one assignment. So starting off with this mascot dancing shot, I was not aware of how many of our fellow film students were actually going to be at this event, and I actually found myself very quickly having to manage moving around all of the different cameras that were out there. I think there was probably 10 or so cameras in combined total, so that was something that was a bit of a unique challenge. And as you can see, some of the classmates are walking through in this shot. The next shot that I wish I could have done a little bit differently is on the team entry. So when they were coming in, if it were my choice and my preference and I had my own gear, I would have set this up on a 50mm lens. And the reason I would have done that is one, because not only we were dealing with the low lighting of the situation, but I could have gotten a very sharp, crisp reaction of the face of whenever they were hyping each other up in that shot. And I think the 50mm just would have beautifully put that piece together to really bring that shot to life. It's okay for what it is with the equipment that we have, but that's how I would have made that specific shot a little bit better. The third shot that I was really not too pleased with by the time I got into post-production was whenever the referee was coming back down court. I had my camera set up low to the ground to get a very unique type of shot. And so what happened is the referee actually came all the way to the back right corner where I was at, and you can see his foot moving through the frame. And so this becomes a bit of an issue because when the referee is doing that, he ends up standing just adjacent to the camera. So the action is coming down the ball court sort of at a diagonal, and so I'm trying to account for him being in the frame and trying to adjust and maneuver and try and be in the right space for where the movement of the play is going to go. But in doing that and being so low to the ground to try and account for all of these factors, the speed of the game came too quickly, and you actually see me kind of whip the camera up and to the left, but it's just out of shot. And it was a pretty cool little fast break transition to an assist. But yeah, in essence, the referee has their own job to do, and so now I just know to be a little bit more mindful and kind of keep my eye out for them in conjunction with the actual playthrough of the game. Now I get to the really fun part here. I get to talk about the shots that I felt like were personally my best as far as what I could produce with the equipment we had on hand that night. I want to start off with this Jumbotron shot that we have here. I really enjoy this shot composition because it's something that just feels very niche and one-off. I don't see this type of style too much, and this is like one of those shots that kind of plays in the back of my head because I've seen it once before somewhere else, and I always wanted to do it. So being that I got to do that shot was really fun. I was having a great time. I was literally busting a sweat just kind of running around the court trying to get all the shots in that I wanted. But if it were my choice, and if I were shooting on my own camera, I actually would have taken the f-stop up just a little bit and set the exposure to the correct setting so that we could have actually seen the display of the Jumbotron of the players being up there for their recap, because that was the importance of that shot, was trying to show, hey, the Texas State Bobcats are up there on the Jumbotron and they're here forward frame to build out that setting a little bit more. Next up, we've got this really cool close-up free throw. For the cameras that we had, the focus is absolutely sharp and incredible, and it's very quick. That's one thing that I really liked about our cameras. And you've got a pretty good range of zoom on that thing as well. So that shot, I was able to get very close, very tight with the right amount of depth of field that I was really going for on that. I think it was like 5.6. Anyways, in that shot, a couple things that I wish I would have done a little bit differently on that is, one, having a tripod. That was 100% a tripod shot, and the reason I say that is because if you watch the footage back, you can see that, of course, there's a little bit of wobble, and that's to be expected if you're out on the broadcast side of the field. You're going to have to be moving around with the camera a lot, so there's going to be wobble. You got to account for that and kind of understand that that's going to be baked into your footage to a degree. But this one specifically had a little bit more than I had wanted, and I felt like I could have really driven the final image home had it just been a little bit more stable, because you can also see whenever I'm going to pull back out while he's shooting, again, just a little bit of a unevenness of the framing, and I felt like I could have done just a touch better with a little bit different equipment there. Last but not least, I'm going to call this the fan save shot. So I was filming earlier throughout the progression of the game. It was in the first quarter. We were about 3 minutes in, and there was a gentleman who had asked me to move, and I had stopped in front of him for maybe half of a play. And though this isn't a March Madness game, understand that there are different types of fans that for some reason want to interact with the camera, whether it's affecting them or not. And so in this instance, I don't think it had affected them that much, notwithstanding that it was only half of a play as well. So keep that in mind. If you're a bystander or a filmer, take it all with a grain of salt. This is a standard run-of-the-mill game. This isn't a March Madness conference. Totally different concept, totally different set of rules that apply to that game. And I'm going to tell you why this is a fan save shot. Because I had to move down court. We get this beautiful pull-up jumper shot. And the cool thing is, I was 2 or 3 rows up into the stand, and a group of college kids had come up, and they were explaining to me that those were their seats. And I told them that I would move because I'm not trying to get in anybody's way at this point, because the gentleman earlier had already made a statement of me being in the way for a couple milliseconds. And anyhow, the cool thing is, one of your Texas State fans, he just said, hey, you know what? This guy's here to film. He's here to do something. He said, dude, I'll sit behind you. And so he did. And in those moments of where he moved and got back behind me for just a couple moments, I told him that I would move. I just wanted to get a couple shots while I was up there. I was up there no more than maybe 30 seconds to get this beautiful pull-up jumper, my favorite shot. So it's a fan save shot. Without him, this shot would have not existed. And I would be talking about something else completely different. And that is all that I have. This is a really neat assignment to get to put together. These were my 3 worst shots and my 3 best shots, and we'll catch you on the next one.